Remember what I told you, right?
Yeah.
What?
Just call man business.
On February 22nd, 2026, 50 Cent posted an unflattering photo of Tamika Tiny Harris on his main Instagram feed. And just like that, the beef stopped being about music. Tiny wasn't on podcasts talking about him. She wasn't in comment sections trading shots. She was uninvolved, and she became the target anyway. The caption was short and loaded, basically repeating his warning for T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. One post, millions of views, and a line crossed that couldn't be uncrossed. But to understand how it got here, you need to know what was already burning underneath. For months, T.I. had been publicly discussing a potential versus battle with 50. According to Tip, conversations actually happened. Face-to-face, real planning. The idea was straightforward. T.I. would announce it publicly first to build buzz, then 50 would confirm. A smooth rollout between two legends who both dominated the 2000s. Between them, Get Rich or Die Tryin' and Paper Trail alone represent tens of millions in sales and multiple Grammys. Instead, when T.I. stepped out and spoke on it publicly, 50 acted like the conversation never happened. That one move changed everything. For Tip, it wasn't about a lost opportunity, it was about character. You can say no to a battle, that's fine, but allegedly agreeing in private and denying it in public, that's a respect issue. And once T.I. said publicly that he didn't respect 50, the fuse was already lit. Because if there's one thing 50 Cent's career has proven over and over, it's that he doesn't let disrespect sit. Ja Rule learned that. What started as competitive friction turned into one of hip-hop's most prolonged wars. Diss tracks, mockery, media manipulation, until Ja's career never recovered. Rick Ross learned it too. One past photo and strategic media moves dismantled the beef before it even fully started. The Game, Floyd Mayweather, industry executives, the list goes on. The formula is always the same. 50 studies the situation, identifies the pressure point, and strikes in a way that makes the other person react emotionally while he stays calculated. So, when T.I. publicly questioned his respect, those who knew 50's history weren't surprised by what came next. They were just surprised by where he aimed. Tiny Harris built her name long before she married T. As a member of Xscape, she helped sell millions of records in the 1990s. Just Kickin' It and Understanding still get radio play today. She has songwriting credits on major projects and a Grammy to her name. Her legacy stands on its own. That's what made the photo hit differently. This wasn't some anonymous person caught in the crossfire. This was a woman with her own career and her own fanbase being publicly humiliated to send a message to her husband. Blogs exploded. Comment sections split instantly. Even fans who normally enjoy 50's trolling paused. Some called it genius provocation. Others called it cowardly. But the loudest reaction didn't come from blogs or industry insiders. It came from inside the Harris household. King Harris, 21 years old, went live on Instagram almost immediately after seeing the post. No script, no filter, raw emotion. He defended his mother with everything he had. Voice raised, words sharp, tone unfiltered. Then he went further. He brought up 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who died in a suspected homicide when 50's was just 8 years old. He referenced her death directly. He posted an image of a tombstone. He made comments that immediately split the internet. Within minutes, the clips were everywhere. Millions of views within hours. One side argued King had every right to respond. If someone publicly humiliates your mother in front of millions, most sons would react. They saw it as loyalty. The other side said certain lines should never be crossed regardless of what started it. A deceased parent, especially one murdered when their child was a young boy, is a wound that doesn't heal. You don't touch that. But King wasn't finished. Days later, he posted an old 2004 court clip of 50 testifying in a past case, captioning it with accusations that 50 only applies pressure to women. He built what felt like a case, listing 50's past controversies one by one. The 2007 sales battle where Kanye's graduation outsold Curtis. The political backlash after comments about Donald Trump in 2020. The long-running estrangement from his eldest son, Marquise Jackson. King framed it as a timeline of embarrassments, arguing 50 had no standing to question anyone else's character. For a moment, the internet felt like King was landing real blows. Then, he posted a photo of 50's younger son, Sire Jackson, and made comments questioning how he was being raised. That changed the mood instantly. Up until that point, the argument involved people who chose to be in the public eye. Now, a child was in it. Even supporters who had been backing King's every move went quiet. It widened the damage in a direction nobody could defend. Meanwhile, 50 watched all of it unfold, and his response was colder than anything he could have shouted back. He posted a Pepe the Frog meme with a simple LOL caption. That was it. No speech, no live stream, no visible anger. Just a cartoon frog and 3 letters. In a feud where King was broadcasting raw emotion to millions, 50 responded with the message landed clearly. "You're not on my level." Then he went further. He posted an AI-edited clip from the 2006 film ATL, a movie that originally starred T.I., with 50's face edited onto a character speaking directly to a younger man in a tense scene. The key line? Grown man business. 4 words, perfectly placed. It wasn't an attack on King's character. It was a weight class argument. Adults handle adult problems. Kids should stay in their lane. And by using AI to edit himself into T.I.'s own movie, 50 managed to be creative, dismissive, and mocking all at once. Some called it genius. Others called it unsettling. Either way, it traveled fast. The contrast playing out was impossible to ignore. King went live, emotional, immediate, unfiltered. 50 responded with memes and digital manipulation. Calculated, detached, almost amused. One generation handles conflict in real time. The other handles it like a chess match with an audience. That's when T.I. stepped in directly. He commented publicly defending Tiny. He backed King on his stories, praising him as a good son. And then, because he's still an MC at his core, he went to the booth. He dropped a diss track called War. And it mattered, not just as a response, but as a reminder. Because somewhere in all the Instagram chaos and AI-edited memes, people had forgotten that these two men built their names on microphones. T.I.'s bars on that track were sharp, pointed, specific. It felt like the first moment in this entire situation where music was actually doing the work it was supposed to do from the start. For a window of time, the beef was back where it belonged, on wax. But by that point, the damage was already layered deep. Tiny had been publicly humiliated in front of millions for something she had no part in starting. A murdered woman's memory had been posted as ammunition. A child had been dragged into adult conflict. Old court footage had resurfaced. Estranged sons had been mentioned. And somewhere at the bottom of all of this was a Verzeuse battle that was supposed to be a celebration. 2 legends, 2 catalogs, one night that could have reminded everyone why both of them mattered. Instead, what the internet got was screenshots it will never forget. That's the uncomfortable truth this whole situation exposed. In the digital era, beef doesn't stay between 2 people. It expands until families are in it, deceased parents are in it, children are in it. Algorithms reward escalation. The more shocking the post, the more it spreads. Social media doesn't care about respect or boundaries. It pushes whatever keeps people commenting. And once something is posted, it doesn't disappear. Screenshots outlast apologies. Clips travel faster than corrections. The moment King posted that tombstone image, it was going to live online forever, regardless of what came after. Both sides made choices that pushed things further than necessary. Neither walked away clean. And the story that will follow both names now isn't about their best albums or their greatest records. It's about February 2026. Verzeuse was supposed to be a celebration of legacy. 2 men who helped define an era, going hit for hit, reminding a generation why they mattered. Instead, this became proof of how fast pride can erase everything you spent decades building. And that might be the most telling part of this whole story. The music was always going to win. They just never let it.